What is up, everybody? You're checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast, what the world is listening to. I'm your host, the Hot Commodity Ant C, and you're checking out our Attitude Years recap as we cover all things Attitude Era. We're at the end of November, and we are coming to you live with WWE Raw is War on November 30th, 1998, live in Baltimore, Maryland. We started off with the Headbangers, the Insane Clown Posse coming out, but Stone Cold Steve Austin arrives backstage with a shovel. He walks out to the ring and he stunners the Headbangers and Shaggy. Austin takes the mic and says, "Buried Alive is 13 days away, but Stone Cold Steve Austin ain't waiting that long. Before the night is over, Undertaker will be wearing this shovel on his head." So Austin wants to get revenge for Undertaker almost embalming him last week. Will he get it? We'll have to see. Mark Henry is with D'Lo Brown getting dressed in a tuxedo for his date with Chyna later on. That's exciting. We see Stone Cold Steve Austin and Undertaker have their signature on the newest edition of TV Guide. Stone Cold Steve Austin sees Stephanie and asks if she's seen The Undertaker. She says no and leaves nervously. We have the tag team champions, the New Age Outlaws, taking on the Brood. On Heat, Vince McMahon tried to recruit the New Age Outlaws to join the corporation, but they did not really seem interested in it. During the match, corporate team comes on stage, and Christian hits Billy Gunn with the title. New Age Outlaws get the DQ victory. After the match, Ken Shamrock and Big Boss Man attack the Brood for the New Age Outlaws, and Outlaws walk backstage with Vince McMahon. So, are the Outlaws joining the corporation? Sometimes strength in numbers is better than your friends. Undertaker looks for Undertaker in the freezer area. Undertaker and Paul Bearer then push Stone Cold Steve Austin in and lock him in the freezer. Austin's going to freeze to death. That's not good. We get the rewind from Glover where we see Stone Cold stunning the Headbangers earlier tonight. Mark Henry and D'Lo Brown are at the hotel. Henry says, "I need confidence. I need you to come along with me." D'Lo says, "I'm going to be at third wheel." Henry says, "I'm about to bust a move. Come on." And D'Lo goes with Mark Henry. That's a good friend there, D'Lo Brown. Undertaker then comes out. Taker says, "Kane, I know somewhere in this building you are here. As my ministry grows stronger, there are two things that stand in our way. Stone Cold Steve Austin, I'm going to keep him on ice until I bury him alive. Tonight, Kane, our battle is joined. When this night ends, one of us will face the future and one of us will face eternal darkness." Kane comes down the two brawl. Undertaker hits a tombstone and an elbow drop. Kane clothesline Undertaker, but then men with straitjackets come out. Kane takes out the men and leaves through the crowd. White collared shirts follow Kane around. So is Kane going to get put in the insane asylum? Who knows? Henry and D'Lo Brown see a limo outside, and Mark Henry asks D'Lo. He gives him a tux, glasses, and a chauffeur hat. And D'Lo's annoyed, but he puts it on for the date with Chyna. Chyna arrives at the hotel. Henry gives her flowers, and she tells him not to touch her. Henry tells Chyna that's not D'Lo driving, it's somebody else. And this is comedy throughout this whole scene. We have the European champion X-Pac coming out now. X-Pac says, "Shawn Michaels, come on down, boy, because I'm going to beat your ass and not use a chair." Shawn Michaels comes out in a suit. Shawn Michaels says, "I'm the new sheriff in town, the new commish of WWE. I've had chunks of guys bigger than you in my stool. Nothing would thrill me than to hard your ass over now, to hand your ass over now. I will send your ass down to the money pit in Atlanta." And then he says, "You will face Ken Shamrock. You will defend your European title and some of it." And then he goes, "I'm sorry." He says, "You will defend your title against Ken Shamrock tonight. Hit my music." DX music plays. He goes, "I was DX before DX was cool." So Shawn Michaels definitely joining the corporation here, not looking good. Henry tries to give Chyna $1.25 hours. We see the freezer is open and Stone Cold Steve Austin is gone. So where is Austin? Next, we have Goldust taking on Jeff Jarrett with Deborah. Owen Hart is on commentary saying he is retired from WWE. A lot of the action in this match, Goldust sets up Jeff Jarrett in the ropes. Deborah shows off her boobs. Goldust shakes his butt, but then Owen Hart attacks Goldust. After the match, the Blue Blazer attacks Owen and takes off the mask, revealing that it is Steve Blackman. Steve Blackman getting a semblance of revenge on Owen here. It also looks like Deborah and Jeff and Goldust like showing themselves off. We have the medieval slam of the week. Al Snow hitting Ken Shamrock with head, allowing Mankind to get the win last week. We have the WWE Championship, Hardcore Championship on the line in a ladder match. The champion Mankind with Al Snow defending against the Big Boss Man with Shawn Michaels. This is a great ladder match between the two. However, The Rock comes out, pushes Mankind off the ladder, and the big boss and nails Mankind again. Rock hits a rock bottom to Mankind. Bossman climbs the ladder, and the big Bossman is our new hardcore champion. After the match, Shawn Michaels stops Mankind, and The Rock does as well. And then Shawn Michaels hits Mankind with a nightstick. We see Undertaker and Paul Bearer attack Kane backstage. Kane sends Undertaker over a table. They fight. Paul gets a body bag. Undertaker says, "I can do this. Go get the ordnance." And then Stone Cold Steve Austin breaks a shovel over Undertaker backstage. Mark Mero then comes out, and Mero says, "If I don't beat the jobber, I will quit WWE." We have Mark Mero taking on the light heavyweight champion Dwayne Gill with the Baltimore Kid Chargers. We see Bob Holly and Scorpio come out. Blue Meanie pushes Mark Mero off the top rope, and Dwayne Gill pins Mark Mero. Is Mero going to leave? Paul Bearer's backstage now. He has Ordinance follow him around. Henry and Chyna are on their date. Henry toasts to Chyna, and then Chyna downs the wine. Henry says he wants to bust the move with Chyna on the dance floor. Next up, we have the European Championship on the line. The European champion X-Pac defending against the Intercontinental champion Ken Shamrock with Shawn Michaels. Vince McMahon, the Stooges, talks to New Age Outlaws backstage. Shawn Michaels pulls out the referee. X-Pac hits an X Factor on Ken Shamrock, but the big boss man attacks X-Pac. Ken Shamrock applies an ankle, but Triple H runs down and returns and kicks Ken Shamrock off of X-Pac. After the big boss man, Ken Shamrock talked to Shawn Michaels in the ring because Triple H made his triumphant return. Paul Bearer comes in with guys. He checks that Kane is in the body bag. They put the bag in the stretcher and leave. Paul says, "Bye, son." Mark Henry dances with Chyna at a bar. A couple of guys want to dance with Chyna. She says no. They call her a bitch, and then Chyna attacks the men, and Mark Henry helps Chyna and attacks the men as well. Next, we have Val Venus and the Godfather with the hose taking on Tiger Ali Singh with Babu. They go back and forth here, but then Terry comes out with Jackie, and Terry low blows Val Venus to get the DQ victory. The Acolytes attack Babu and Tiger Ali Singh outside. Bradshaw nails a powerbomb, and Farouk stomps away at him, and Jackal is at ringside with the Acolytes here. Paul Bearer waves as the ambulance leaves. Stone Cold Steve Austin and Kane watch on a monitor, so we know that obviously Undertaker was the one in there. Shane McMahon comes out on the stage. Shane says, "What you're about to see is a lesson in humility. You all remember Vince McMahon's start. You all remember since Sable started on the stage selling shirts. Vince took Sable's career to superstar status." The women's champion Sable comes out. Shane says, "Sable is modeling the WWF Attitude Cologne. Let me smell what you're cooking." Shane smells it, but Sable sprays it in his mouth, and Shane leaves upset. Sable keeps playing Shane McMahon here. Al Snow with Head is taking on the WWE champion, The Rock. You see a lot of action here, a lot of back and forth action. The Rock grabs Head, and he gives Head the corporate elbow. The Big Boss Man and Ken Shamrock walk out. The Rock hits a rock bottom and defeats Al Snow. After Ken Shamrock and Big Boss Man attack Mankind, The Rock sends Al Snow into the railing. Rock hits Mankind with the nightstick, and the Job Squad is hacked, but The Rock has already left. We see Mankind attacking The Rock on stage, and then he sends The Rock into a steel bearing. So Mankind and The Rock are destined to fight at rock bottom. It's going to be good. Stone Cold Steve Austin grabs Paul Bearer backstage. Kane shows up, and Stone Cold tells Paul Bearer that Undertaker is gone to the hospital with a Kane mask on. We see Stone Cold and Kane walk Paul Bearer out. Stone Cold says, "You dumb bastard, how do you feel knowing you sent the Undertaker to the nut house? Undertaker can't save your fat ass tonight. I watched the table last week and it pissed me off. You were gonna bury me, then embalm me alive. You're a sick bastard. I'm thirsty. Someone give me a beer. If you want to see Kane beat the living hell out of Paul Bearer, give me a hell yeah. Nah, grab the gas can. Nah, I got a better idea." He cuts Paul Bearer's shirt. Paul Bearer says, "Jesus, take me home." Stone Cold says, "Undertaker spoke in tongues. I will tell you, I'm going to get your fat ass. We're going to go for a walk." And then Kane and Stone Cold Steve Austin walk Paul Bearer outside the arena, and then they toss Paul Bearer down a sewer. I couldn't believe this when I saw this live. I thought this was a crazy scene, but this is the Attitude Era for you. A great edition of Raw here, 2 weeks away from Rock Bottom. Make sure you subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell on YouTube if you like what you're hearing. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcasts. Stay safe and stay uncensored.